When we talk about art and history, we always hear some weird letter combinations, BC, BCE, AD, CE, written next to the year number. What's that? Well, today I'm going to explain it to you. Hi everyone and welcome back to Exploring Art. This is Alessandro. I decided to make this video because I received some messages asking me to explain what's the meaning of the terms BC, BCE, AD, CE that even in my videos I often use. It seems like a big mess, right? So let's make it clear. When we talk about time, the main problem is to measure it. This video, for example, was recorded in 2021, but where did this number come from? It's clear that to have the same idea of the time, we need to start counting from the same point. For example, let's say that we pick the year you were born as a single reference point. Like that, you can tell me that you started going to high school 14 years after you were born and your parents met each other 10 years before you were born. Now, can you imagine the mess if every one of us would start counting from random moments? So in Europe during the medieval ages, it was decided the point in time from which they would have started counting, and they picked the event that for them was the most important in history, the birth of Jesus Christ. Based on this system, they described any event occurred before the birth of Christ with the abbreviation BC, meaning before Christ. Because of that, the years before this moment count backwards, just like the negative numbers in maths. But instead of saying that an event happened, for example, minus 500, we can just say 500 BC. As a consequence, the larger numbers in BC happened before the smaller BC numbers. For example, Julius Caesar was born in 100 BC and died in 44 BC. Now that BC is clear, what about AD? For the events after Jesus' birth, they decided to use the letters AD from the Latin Anno Domini, that means Year of Our Lord. The Lord is of course Jesus again. For example, the Emperor Hadrian was born in AD 76 and died in AD 138. A common mistake. Sometimes I hear translating AD as after death of Jesus. However, as you can see in the timeline, that's not possible because we would have two starting points. And how do we count the years while Jesus was alive? So be careful. Just remember the starting point is only one, Jesus' birth. Everything before that moment is labeled BC, everything after AD. Now, three important things. First of all, BC is placed after the number of the year, for example 100 BC, while, just to make things easier, AD goes before, so we should say AD 100. Second, whenever you don't see abbreviations, it's more likely to be AD. For example, we don't say AD 2021, but just 2021 to be faster. Last point, there is no year zero. The first year before Jesus' birth is 1 BC, and it's followed by AD 1. So what about BCE and CE? Well, this is a recent convention of the 20th century wanted by some people who didn't like the religious origins of the abbreviations, and they decided to use new letters that didn't mention Jesus Christ. As a result, they changed BC with BCE, meaning before Common Era, and AD with CE, Common Era. However, there are no differences on the measure of the time. The letters changed, but not the numbers. The only difference is that the new abbreviations are placed both after the number of the year. For example, we can say that Julius Caesar was born in 100 BC or 100 BCE and died in 44 BC or 44 BCE. Hadrian was born in AD 76 or 76 CE and died in AD 138 or 138 CE. The use of BCE and CE became more popular in the recent years, but you will still see BC and AD since it has been used for many centuries despite if you are religious or not. So there is no wrong and no right. They are different conventions, but the scale is the same. Just be careful to not mix them. If you need more examples or if you have questions, please leave your comments and I'll be happy to answer. You can find the transcript of this video on my website exploringart.co with many other articles and interactive tools. Thanks for watching and see you in the next episode.